Monaco in the sunlight. Take a good look at what the place can offer when it isn't raining. Nobody realized, as the ancient Bugattis circulated, that when the big day came, the modern cars would go incomparably slower. Race day brought the rain. Prost and Mansell lined up beside the stake boats, with the two Ferraris behind them, then the Renaults, and then Lauda and Piquet. When the green light glimmered, they rode away roughly in that order, except Warwick's Renault came right around the outside and disappeared around the first curve just in time to clip Arnoux' Ferrari. Arnoux got away with it, but Warwick rammed the barrier. Then Tombe rammed Warwick as De Angelis's Lotus and Patrese' Alpha waited politely at the roadblock while planning an alternative itinerary. Warwick got out and limped off, favouring the leg he'd hurt at Dijon. Arnoux impinges on Warwick in this only slightly slow-motion notion of how Prost looked leading the field up the rapids. Tombe now had a cracked leg to match Warwick's. Prost's McLaren and Mansell's Lotus kicked up a rainforest. Further back, Arnoux and Alboreto in the Ferraris felt their way through it. Tombe had a new vehicle. Warwick showed him how to work it. But now Lauda the water rat was up amongst the Ferraris. At Lowe's corner he snatched the short line off Alboreto and squeezed him out. Lauda dealt with Arnoux going up the hill past Rosie's. Hainault's Ligier had already lost its nose cone when it found Patrese' Alpha suddenly athwart its hawse. But Hainault got round, and so did Piquet, fishtailing with unusable power on his way to another big fat zero. Alboreto had less luck at the Mirabeau, where he sat for some time watching the boat race go by. Rosberg was now running well in 6th position, Senna's Tolman squirting along in his wake. This was electrifying stuff from Senna, and all took due note of a hot shoe debut. Nigel Mansell in his Lotus had by this time grabbed the lead from Prost's McLaren. This was the first time Mansell had ever led a Grand Prix, and he obviously liked the whole idea. A real English rain king like Sterling Moss, Mansell skated through the tunnel, which had been specially sluiced down, so as to present a road surface fully as lousy as the one outside. But just in front of Rosie's, he came unstuck. Mansell toured round with a bent rear wing. But he had 2 punctured tyres as well, so it was only a matter of time before Prost went past and Mansell went off. Elsewhere, Lauda's left-hand mirror now showed an approaching cloud of spray, which surprisingly turned out to be Senna in the Tolman, sailing confidently by. Mansell, who had been sitting there in the cockpit while the rain filled it up like a hip bath, decided to step outside while he figured out what to do next. Eventually, he concluded that his delinquent rear tyre should be punished. Somewhere inside the jacuzzi that men called the tunnel under Lowe's Hotel, Rosberg's White Williams found itself being annoyed by new boy Stefan Belloff's Black Tyrrell. As they shot out towards the harbour, Belloff went scooting past Rosberg and looked as if he could do that to a few more big names as well. But Lauda wouldn't be one of them, because he spun at the casino, Stallsville. Belloff went past Arnoux at the Mirabeau. Up ahead, Senna had done fastest lap and was closing on Prost, but at this rate Belloff would soon be closing on both of them. Prost was still in front, a lap ahead of Alboreto, but Senna was clearly visible behind him to anyone wearing spearfishing goggles. Because now it really started to rain. On lap 31, clerk of the course Jackie Ickx, himself a great rain driver, took a hotly debated decision to stop the race early before someone drowned. Perhaps he just didn't want to see anyone run out of gas. If the race had gone on, Senna would probably have won it, and Prost been second instead of first. But if Prost, instead of half points for first in a short race, had got full points for second, it might have made a big difference to the World Championship at the end of the year. If. F1 is if spelled backwards. But on the dais, young Senna took his loss well enough, perhaps bowing to the dignified example of Prince Rainier, who has really lost something. And Prost was taking victory with dignity. He was now a whole 10 points ahead of Lauda in the World Championship, with Arnoux and Warwick even further back.